we spent the past couple of years in a crazy hot market. Louisville home sales decline as demand outpaces supply. Effective communication is at the core of any situation. If you master these two ideas, you'll have a chance of being successful at residential real estate marketing. I think you need to be looking for investment opportunities that move the needle. The market will never crash if demand exceeds supply. This is what I've been telling you all along.
This is the Jay Pitts Show. And we're back, folks. Welcome back to the Jay Pitts Show. I'm your host, Jay Pitts.
Jay can't see.
Feeling a little unbalanced.
I didn't sleep.
A little off here. Hannah is very clear in my right eye, but not in my left.
Yeah.
You look clear because the bad eye has to look across the nose. So we're good. Doing good here. But yeah, if I sound a little off kilter today, it's probably just because I can't see.
I got to show you just two photos. So I said I didn't sleep. I got a sick kiddo at home.
Oh, Lord.
So this put him down to sleep last night around when we normally do, 7:30. Starts crying. I go pick him up about 20 minutes after we put him down.
Oh, yes.
I mean, just all over.
Did I ever tell you the story
This was about 3 hours before that. We were on a walk about 1.5 miles from home, and he threw up everywhere. So basically just took my sweatshirt off. I had a shirt under, put it on the car seat, and sprinted 1.5 miles home.
Oh, man. Dude, I've got all kinds of kids' puke stories. I wish. So on the way home from Gatlinburg from fall break yesterday, I had one puke in the Buc-ee's bathroom, and the other puked on himself in the car. Thankfully, it was not a lot of volume, and it wasn't. He must have. My wife gets deathly car sick, and I feel like my kids, they just sit there and they play video games and stuff or watch movies in the car, and I think they get motion sick.
Sure.
And they get upset stomach. So Colton puked on himself in the car, so we pull over. And we change him, and I'm walking him into the bathroom. He's like, "Dad, can I have chips?" I'm like, "No, bro, you just yacked all over yourself. We're not buying you cheddar sour cream Ruffles.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Get out of here."
Was that this recent trip or
that was yesterday?
Oh, this is yesterday.
Literally yesterday on the way home.
Where were you?
We went to Gatlinburg, so it was a good time. But yeah, no, the puke stories with little kids are just epic. I got puked all over my face in front of the cable man once. The Insight cable guy back when we had Insight or Time Warner. I don't even know who it was. But I'm sitting there holding Preston. It's my 12-year-old. He's probably one, not far off from Rowan. And he literally, I'm talking to the cable guy about what I want because we're finishing our basement. And he literally yaks on the side of my face, and runs all the way down me, while I'm talking to the guy, and the guy gags watching it.
Other guy.
And I'm like, oh man, please don't have a stranger puke all over my. Because we just gotten carpet down in the basement and everything. And I happened to also be wearing a suit that day, so that was fun.
Yeah, it
Good
happened
times.
last night, and when it happened, I was like, okay, I'm just still holding him out. Throws up on me. I'm like, what do I do here? It's dark in his room. Sound machine's going off. My wife's in the shower upstairs. So there's no way she can hear me. There's puke all over the ground. I'm like, all right, I don't think he's dripping or I'm dripping too bad. So I just carry him up there, and I'm like, hey, hurry up, please.
You're just going to hand him into the shower?
Well, I was just like, I just need her to know she needs to hurry up. So, because I couldn't put him down. He's covered. I'm covered. Floor's covered. Everything's covered in puke and noodles and just disgustingness.
Oh, dude.
Smelled terrible.
My wife always used to get mad when I'd call for her help in situations like that. I'm like, what do you, of course I can handle it. It's just it's going to be worse for everybody.
Yeah.
If 4 hands are better than 2 in this situation.
Oh, for sure.
So,
and it's still not enough hands.
No, it's not. The bodily fluids, I just think when you become a parent, you realize that your kids' bodily fluids are almost the same as your own.
Well, it didn't gross me out, but you are just like, all right, how do I keep this from getting other places right now?
How do I not track this through the entire house?
Yeah. That's what was going through my mind.
We literally are pulling Colton's clothes off inside out, and he's standing in his underwear in the parking lot of the gas station. So yeah, that's pretty fun stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I had a good fall break, so that was awesome. Went to Gatlinburg with the family. That was cool. I was telling you before the show, I had a really good Saturday. The whole trip is good, and I like traveling with the family. It's always fun. But Saturday, we literally, this is different for us because when I'm interested to know how you guys are. When we travel, we like have to do all the things.
Yeah.
Like we have to check the boxes. At least that's kind of like how my wife plans things typically. And it's usually very organized and very planned, like every detail. And she resisted the urge. I asked her, I was like, why don't you let's just be chill. Let's figure it out for once. And she's like, okay. I was like, in fact, Saturday, UofL plays at 3:30. We got this like nice cabin. It's got like a pool. It's got a hot tub. Had golden tea.
Nice.
Played some golden tea.
Older one or newer one?
See, that's what everybody asks me. I don't know that I know the difference. I mean, it seemed like the one that you used to play in bars back.
Yeah.
So it's probably the older one.
Yeah.
Is like the newer one like awesome?
Well, I mean, they've just made so many of them that I don't know. I couldn't tell you if I played a super new one, but I can tell like when they're really old, and I'm kind of like, this stinks.
I don't think it was really old. I mean, so my impression of the game was it's really hard to be really good,
Yeah.
and it's not that hard to just be decent.
Yeah.
And so like my kids would play and they would be terrible, but then I would be like 5 under. You know what I mean? And I knew I wasn't like amazing, but like it didn't seem that hard
Yeah.
for me to be about 5 under for 18. But I tell you what was really cool is just wake up, everybody's asleep. We've talked about our hour. Drinking my coffee, playing golden tea in the basement by myself. It's quiet.
It's going to be your new routine. You're going to buy one.
Oh, well, I told Jeremy was asking me, he's like, you think you'll buy one? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. Like, this is kind of cool, especially if my kids like it.
I think you can get them pretty cheap too.
It's only a couple $100. I looked it up on Amazon.
Already looked it up.
It's like a console that you kind of, like a tabletop console that you just mount like a TV to the wall.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cool.
It sounded fun, but yeah, we didn't leave the entire day. Watched football, drank some beer, ordered pizza.
See, I like vacations like that, but usually they're not like that.
I know.
But my family's taking a trip early January, and I told my mom, like, why don't we just get a nice house, Airbnb, somewhere in Florida with a pool that has like the screen over it,
Yeah.
and there's a canal in the back. That way, if we want to fish, we can. We can swim, watch sports, just hang out and do nothing.
There you go. I enjoy that. The idea, I mean, I do get a little stir crazy after too many days of that, but man, it was nice. We went to Dollywood one day. The next day we stayed at the cabin the entire day. The next day we went to like Anakista and did like, you know, the mountain roller coasters, but nothing was too crazy. It wasn't too much.
Nice. Well, good.
So good times.
Good. All right, man. I guess let's jump into it. We can do some more small talk later, but we'll go ahead and hop into the listener question for the week. This person wrote in and said, as a first-time home buyer, I'm open to most areas in Louisville. Which areas do you think are best for a first-time home buyer if their max budget is $375,000?
$375. Okay, that's so I'm gonna say, you know, let's
assume they're pre-approved for more than that, but they don't want to go over 375.
375 more than that. Okay. Well, I mean, there's too much. There's too much that you don't know. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms?
Right.
Like, obviously,
Let's assume it's like most for first-time home buyers now that want 2 full bathrooms.
okay.
And I mean, you're not going to find many houses that are just 2 bedrooms with 2 full bathrooms, but let's assume they're okay with 2 bedrooms.
Okay with 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths. For $375, you can find something in most areas. Now, there are just certain areas where that price point doesn't exist. You know, I mean, you're not going to find much in Prospect if it's not a condo. You're not going to find much in 40245 unless it's like a patio home. And even patio homes are more expensive than that in those areas now. So you can probably find something, and it really just kind of depends on your furnishings and, you know, your finishings that you want. Most of what you're going to find in those areas is going to be, granite countertops and hard floors and, not much carpet, that kind of thing, relatively new construction. You can find something decent for $375 in the Highlands with only 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Under 4. You can find something pretty decent in St. Matthews. It's not going to be, the most highly priced area, obviously.
And your house will probably need some work.
But it'll be structurally sound. It'll be, and a lot of things will be more updates than it will upgrades necessarily. You can probably find something with decent mechanicals and a decent roof, and you may or may not get new windows in a place like that with like 100-year-old home. But most zip codes, I think you're going to find. I tell you, I don't know. Maybe the answer is like J-Town 40299. I feel like you get a lot of value there for that price range.
Not much inventory though.
No, there isn't. There's not much inventory anywhere under 4. So, but the homes do exist at relatively affordable price points. What you're talking about there is about $100,000 over market median. Market median is probably like 275 now, with your average being slightly above 3. But yeah, I think you're talking $100,000 above market median, and that exists in most zip codes. The majority of home prices west of I-65 are going to come in on average lower than that. But again, it comes down to level of finish, bedroom, bathroom count. 2.2, I think, leaves you a lot to choose from throughout the city.
I personally think St. Matthews or Crescent Hill. Crescent Hill is probably going to be pretty outdated, but great area.
Again, it's just subjective. It's subjective, based on if that's what you want, and certain people do. It's what I wanted when I first got out of college. You can absolutely find something adequate in those areas for $375.
Yeah, cool. This would be good to do maybe as a thought exercise one day, going 150, 200, 300, 4.
Yeah. What do you get?
Yeah. Or like where?
Yeah, I see a bit of that, in different like content creators, like what you can get in such and such for this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just like an individual, kind of marketing endeavor for that particular listing, and you just kind of define the criteria about whatever this listing is because this is the one you want to show.
Well, and sometimes if you really look into what they're posting, it's like you can get this in 40205 for $450,000, and it's like the coolest home ever, but it backs up to a highway over by Bowman Field on like Wendell or something over there.
Yeah, I totally get that.
and it's totally different than 40205 and like Cherokee Gardens.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
yeah, you're not getting that in Cherokee Gardens.
40205 is a very large zip code.
It is geographically.
Is it the largest one in Louisville?
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, it's pretty expansive though.
It is
pretty expansive. I'm trying to think. I would guess that one of the perimeter, like a 40258 or a 40272, are larger geographically.
Yeah.
Just guessing, because there's a lot of areas
I bet
that
it's
are kind of
40258.
unspoken.
40216 is pretty large too.
I know. I'd be interested to look at a map and try to come up with that.
Yeah.
Try to figure out the answer.
Maybe we'll figure that out for next week.
There you go. Report back.
The smallest, the largest. All right, cool. So there is the listener question of the week.
40202 is smallest, I bet.
Oh, for
Central
sure.
Central Business.
It's just so
I
small.
guarantee it's tiny. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
And like, I don't even think a lot of people realize that's even a zip code in Louisville. Probably.
I know.
I only realized it when I went to select my zip code thing on Flex. I'm like, what's this little thing right here?
What is this little?
But all right, I thought we would mention. So as of today, you have 77 days left. This is important for any real estate agent out there that has an LLC. You have 77 days left to register it with the Financial Crimes Bureau, or you have the $500 per day penalty.
There you go.
If you don't do that. So don't think there's a lot to talk about on that, but if you are an agent listening to this and you have an LLC, you need to do that. So it says first, not everyone needs to file. You only need to file if you are a reporting company or you do not qualify for an exclusion. So you're considered a reporting company if you have filed a document with the Secretary of State. And since LLCs and corporations file documents to incorporate or organize, they must file unless they qualify for an exception. So, like I said, not a lot to talk about there. Just try to save people $500 a day. If they
$500 a day sounds stiff.
Very.
And 77 days, is that how many days are left in the year?
Probably. It just said
go
79 days left 2 days ago.
Okay.
So I subtracted. And let's see. So
That's why I subtracted.
It's October 15th.
It's the 15th. There's 31 days, so 16, 30 in November, so 46.
So
31, so
probably-
76
yes,
days, 77 days.
77 is what I said.
Okay,
So
77 days. So that's right. That's how many days are
there
left
we
in the
go.
year.
All right. So
We can do math.
just wanted to
Simple
Okay,
addition, at least.
calling myself out here. I'm terrible at knowing how many days are in a month.
Really?
Awful.
Okay.
I don't even try to learn now because I got a calendar on my phone. I can just pull up whenever I want to.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like,
I bet it's something as generations and technology has grown, people have got worse and worse at.
you think?
I almost guarantee it.
I have a hard time. I just know. I just know which months have which.
Yeah, but you had to learn it without a phone.
Probably so. Probably so. This is funny to me because, I got an iPhone in 2007 when they first came out. The difference is I was 26 then. So that is an interesting thing. So have you ever had this happen or thought about this? So I think the first time it probably happens is driving. So you're like, you get your driver's license when you're 16. When you turn 32, you're like, hey, I've been driving for longer in my life than I didn't drive. And then like for me, right after that, it was like being married. It's like, okay, well, I've been married longer, or we've been together longer than we had before, and then we're married longer than I had before.
Yep.
So pretty soon it's going to be, I've had an iPhone for longer than I was alive before I had an iPhone.
That is kind of wild to think about.
It's kind of strange. So, I mean, I'll be 52. That's another decade. But, if I got one at 26, then at 52, I will have had an iPhone longer than before.
That's a bit of ways.
I do turn 43 in about a month.
What's your birthday?
November 30th.
Okay.
I do remember it. I'm not that old.
So we're not too far off. December 7th.
Not too far. That's right. I knew you were early December.
Got to watch Pearl Harbor in class every day on my birthday.
That's wild.
So,
Hey.
Pearl Harbor and my birthday.
Yeah, a
That's
little
what-
dubious
That's
there.
what December 7th is known for, those two things. All right. Yeah. So just wanted to mention that because I know we have a lot of real estate agents to listen to the show that are LLCs or corporations. So just talk to your CPA and get that done before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I wanted to pull up this tweet I saw. I don't know if you saw it. It's called Strip Mall Guy on Twitter. And
I do follow him.
he said, when you sell your home, you're not paying a 6% commission. You're paying closer to 20% of your equity. Here's his math. You have a $2 million home. Let's assume you have a 30% down payment, which is $600,000 cash. And then 6% of $2 million is $120,000. So you're paying $120,000 of the $600,000, which is 20%. I think what he's failing to realize is once you put money down, you keep building equity by paying off your mortgage.
I mean, if you sell instantly,
Right.
and only for the same price that you pay, and the reality is that if you sell instantly, it's likely that you sell for less than what you paid.
Yes. One of the responses was, at no point is this coherent storytelling. Making assumptions about the amount of equity anybody has in their sale is faulty. Down payments exist on a purchase, not on a sale. So is your point, if you were to buy then immediately sell, then yes, fair. But nobody does that.
Whose response was that?
A guy named Mortgage Nick.
Okay.
And all the strip mall guys said was, any bias here?
Any bias?
Yeah.
Well, of course he did. I mean, this guy, so I've struggled in following this guy. What I know about him is he lives in Manhattan. He has a young child, married with a young child, and he speculates in strip mall purchasing all over the United States.
Or he says he does.
Says he does, yeah. Well, assuming that he tells the truth in his tweets, then that's what he does. But, I mean, he's gotten an interesting following. He's 240,000. It's honestly nowhere near the size of audience that a lot of people, but he claims to have monetized and is profitable from his account, but it's also an anonymous account. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Yeah,
some of the stuff he says I can find some agreement with, and other stuff is outlandish and I don't agree.
I wonder how you get paid on an anonymous account, because I wonder if he had to submit a picture of his driver's license and confirm who he is.
I think he's only anonymous to his audience. Like if he has advertisers or people that, pay him like brand deals to promote products or whatever, I don't know. Maybe it's just profitable from deal sourcing. I don't know.
Yeah.
So again, this is a brave new world that we live in, and who knows what he means or what he actually gets or what he says. I mean, smoke and mirrors are certainly part of it, but.
Do you buy into a lot of people say if somebody's selling a course about what they do, they're not doing well enough at what they do? Do you buy into that? Or do you think it's just somebody that's diversifying their income a little?
I think there's some truth to it. So I've said I don't volunteer at the board of realtors a lot. I can believe in having a balanced business, a balanced approach to real estate, and still not have time to teach courses at the board or volunteer on committees. I think if they're extremely so for example, here's an example. So like, good friend of mine, Tom Ferry. As far as I know, Tom never sold real estate. So how can he be the number one real estate coach in the world without ever having sold real estate? Well, it's because he knows something about business, but there's got to be some nuance, right, to the act of actually representing a client, saving a deal, being a good negotiator that some experience in the trade would help with, right? But it's absolutely kind of, I would say, unchallenged that his business, his coaching and consulting business, has made individuals in the real estate space more profitable, and therefore he gets paid a lot of money to do that. I think there's posers in anything we do, and who am I to say what people's motives should be? I just simply don't have time. Trust me, if I could make more money than I do right now doing something that was more in line with my values and the way I want to spend my time, well, yeah, of course I'd do it. But the reality is I've put forth a lot of effort to start building the business that I have, or the businesses that I have. I don't want to start over. Could I be a good real estate coach? Probably. I probably could, and I could probably make it profitable. So I don't know. I struggle with the people that are like, I'm a full-time real estate agent and I also coach real estate agents. That's kind of hard for me to buy.
Yeah.
If you were good enough, you'd be making enough money selling real estate that you wouldn't be teaching.
You were saying if you could probably make coaching a profitable business for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I had on here, so I've noticed a lot of your Instagram reels have a lot of positive feedback lately.
Yeah.
I would say from other real estate agents. Yeah. There was one you posted the other day about firing clients. I'm sure not everybody that listens to this follows you on social media. Do you want to talk about that on here? You can say the same thing you did in that video, but just so our listeners here can hear, how you fire clients or why you fire clients, because it had a ton of positive feedback on Instagram.
Well, what's interesting? Okay, so let's take back just a little bit further than that. So obviously this summer we had like the NAR settlement news, which was, ground shaking, right, for our industry. And there became this void, I feel like, and a lot of people tried to fill it, and some people filled it with humor, and some people filled it with disgust, and we tried to fill it with coaching and positivity and things like that. And so, yeah, I do some coaching. And to your point a minute ago, Ryan, I work with fewer clients now than I did before. And I work with more of our real estate agents, trying to make them more profitable by helping them get more clients. And so in a sense, I have kind of become a coaching business because I'm not like boots on the ground as much as I used to be. But make no mistake, this is more profitable and it's more in line with the way I want to live my life. So yeah, I was coaching people through the NAR settlement changes. We talked about it a lot on here. And Hannah and I had a conversation, was like, okay, obviously this is still important, but it's kind of dominated what we've put out for a while. And I don't want that to remain the case, into the future. So we kind of made a conscious choice to shift away from that. With all that, I got a ton of new agent followers just commenting on the settlement and the changes coming from it and coaching through it. I got a ton of new agent followers. I was stuck at like 9,000 followers for like years. And now I'm, within a couple of months, I'm at like almost 16,000 on Instagram. So we got a ton of new agent followers. And then we made a conscious shift away from the settlement. Like, hey, we don't want to run this thing into the ground. And I think that inherently took us in a more positive direction because we leaned into the new audience that we had, and everything we do is coaching. So it's like, here's some positivity. When it comes to like firing clients, it's just simply understanding that not everybody is suited to work with everybody else. You may not even know why, but a lot of the reasons are when clients will not listen to you, will not respect your skill, will not respect your, decision-making or priority setting. They won't take direction. They won't allow you to be the professional. You're going to be really frustrated pushing through that. So it's best for everyone involved, whether they deserve it or not. Some of them are belligerent, and that's why you want to get rid of them. But even if you don't do it for their best benefit, do it for your own. Okay? We joke and say it nicely, like we reintroduce them to the market, right? But all that really means is you're firing them. Like, hey, this don't work for me. You need to go find a different agent. Mm-hmm. And why? It's just that you don't respect me. You don't listen to me. I've got to fight you on every decision I want to make to be able to do my job and what I know is best. Like, the decisions I make are informed by what you tell me you want to achieve. And if you won't let me do my job at the end of the day, then why are we working together? It just doesn't make any sense. In that clip, I also said, people will say some outlandish and unhinged things over text message or over the telephone, especially over text and email, I should say, too, in writing. People will put unhinged things in writing when they don't have to look you in the eye, face you, and say it. So I said, make them say it to your face. Okay? Don't let them off the hook. If they're going to say some unhinged, somebody says something unhinged to me on an email, the first thing I do when I read the email is call their phone. 99 times out of 100, they let it go to voicemail. Right? Sometimes they may not be available, but I'm willing to bet more often than not, they're sitting there looking at that phone ring going, I know he got my email and I don't want to deal with this right now because I'm going to make them say it to my face.
Yeah. I think a lot of times too, things in text or email might come across more harsh than the person might have even meant it.
That's also true. But some stuff can't be mistaken.
Right. Yeah.
This is out of pocket. Okay. Say it to my face. Yeah. If you won't say it to my face, and it doesn't matter. If you're willing to say out of pocket, unhinged things to me in any medium, I'm probably going to let you go.
Yeah.
Because I don't need it. I mean, I told somebody today, we've got a really nice size closing that was unfortunately delayed due to a title company not doing their job. And they've lied. They've tried to place blame on others. They tried to shift blame to me this morning. They told my client who got involved to try and help me solve this issue. It's an investor selling some apartments. and has a lot of experience. They got involved to try and help me, kind of land the plane. And they said, "Oh, your agent's just frustrated because all he's worried about is his commission." And I said,
I can't wait to hear who this is after.
well, I said, ma'am, this world keeps turning for me whether this deal closes or not. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'd like you to do is do your job and stop lying. I caught this person in multiple lies. Everybody in the deal understands and corroborates what everybody else says except this one individual. And so it's been really quite frustrating. But that's neither here nor there. Like sometimes I didn't lose my cool. I wanted to. I didn't lose my cool because I still need this person to do their job.
Yeah.
So being pragmatic was the right decision.
You going to go to that closing?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there and get my check.
Love it.
Make sure my client doesn't get screwed over. I mean, the thing is, they won't. I mean, there's nothing that it was just something needed to be done. It didn't get done. And then there was a lot of excuses as to why it didn't get done.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear who it is after this.
Yeah. Well, it's not for the air.
You know what I don't understand though on some of these reels you've been posting with a lot of positive feedback, they'll get sent like 90 times and 3,000 views.
Yeah, like
how's that
shares.
possible?
Shares.
Yeah.
I don't understand the ratios of likes and comments to shares. Sometimes the shares are out of this world.
To me, shares, I guess their algorithm thinks different.
It's the highest
But
level of
shares
engagement.
Exactly, more than liking, maybe not commenting. But I don't know, I would say
comment
share
can be a
is.
positive or a negative,
Yeah.
which I suppose is irrelevant to the platform and their algorithm because they want to show you things that you're outraged by just as much as they want to show you things you're interested in.
Yeah.
Because both are proven to get you engaged.
I wish Instagram showed you who shared your videos,
That would be cool.
but they never will because they don't want to.
They don't want to
People
put
share
that person
less.
on. Yeah,
and
for sure.
They don't want that to happen.
Well, I'm curious because I know without a doubt the metrics are much larger, the local viewership that I get, and the majority of the audience is real estate people. Now, I know the people here in this brokerage view and they don't comment so much, but they view and like and do share. So like, I'm curious now which of my competition uses my content to train their agents.
I'd say a lot.
I mean, I don't know. Or is that in their mind, something that would be, they'd be doing themselves a disservice. I don't know. I'm curious, like not the brokers, but like the successful agents that work for the brokers that might be leading teams or mentoring agents. How many of them grab my videos and say, "Hey, you should listen to this guy"? Because I get a lot of people who reach out.
Or they come up with their own lesson about exactly what you said and don't share that it's you.
They just rip the message and use it as their own.
Yeah, I'd say
That's
probably
fair.
happens more.
I think that happens a lot, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm never at a loss for words, and I never lost for an opinion on this stuff that we do every day. And the one thing different than everybody here is we just started filming it and putting it out before everybody else.
Yeah. So we were talking about if Instagram showed you who shared your videos. So a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about like Snapchat and Snapchat scores.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I would say like that's when Snapchat started to get popular. And Snapchat would tell you who your top 5 best friends are, like it still does, but you could see everybody else's. So like in high school, it was like, this girl and guy are best friends, and this guy has a different girlfriend. So like it was like this big thing, and then they took them away for a while, and then one random day just added them back. So like I just remember I had a couple friends whose girlfriends broke up with them after
because they were mad because they were snapping somebody else.
Public again. And
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought it was interesting that they would share with the person if you screenshot their post.
Yeah.
Like you can screenshot the post, but then it notifies them.
Yeah.
Like that was always kind of interesting, and I wonder if it was just enough, like social awareness of what you're doing that would get people to not do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it was. I just remember it made me remember that from high school. It was pretty funny. I guess it wasn't funny for some friends at the time.
I don't.
But
Yeah, I mean, there's. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of people getting upset. Like I had a friend who is married and his wife's a little bit, hard to get along with. And she would, I guess, get in her mind that he was interested in other ladies. And he would go to their Instagram and check their stories to see if he had viewed their story. Because it does show you that, apparently. It shows you, Instagram stories will show you who has viewed that story. I guess. I think. I don't know. Or maybe if you're friends with them or you're friends with both people or something. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of permission there. But you can, I think, view, or at one point you could at least, who had seen someone else's story. Yeah. So, I don't know. Kind of wild.
yeah, I don't know if they do that anymore. Maybe that was at
I'm
one
gonna
point.
I'm gonna check this out real quick.
Okay. Hannah, do you remember the Snapchat like best friends when they were public or no? Yeah, wild times.
Well, it doesn't look like you can anymore, really.
yeah, I don't think you can.
But didn't there used to be like, I don't know.
All right, let's move on.
Maybe it
Did
shows
you see?
Oh, I know what it was. She would get in his phone. So you can, I think you can see from.
You can see who watches your stories.
You can.
That's about it.
Maybe that's what it was. She would check his stories to see who watched his stories and like had a. I don't know. Maybe
That's crazy.
It's crazy any way you look at it. Like,
Oh man.
anytime you're looking at somebody, like, I'll give Jen my phone anytime I hear.
Yeah.
The only thing you're gonna find on there is like tea times. It's like the only thing I don't discuss with you at length is probably like when I play golf.
Yeah.
But I never miss something else that I'm signed up for.
And then you say, and if my friend says something inappropriate, that's them.
That's on them. It's not on me.
All right. Did you see? Let's move on. Tesla, their Optimus robots, the event.
Pretty crazy.
Right now, they're being controlled by people, but while
Yeah.
they're being controlled by people, they're learning.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, supposedly, like, it's going to be able to be like,
he wants everybody to buy one for $20,000 to $30,000, like a car.
yeah, like a fully autonomous house assistant type situation. Like, we'll be able to fold clothes.
That'd be sick.
Would be able to fold clothes, put in laundry, clean your house. Like, I mean, I've seen like use cases.
My only thing is, why do they have to make them look so much like the iRobot? robots?
Because it's Elon. That's
I mean,
why.
just like them.
Just like him.
Which great movie.
It was a crazy movie, but like obviously we know how that ended. But like he named it Optimus for a reason. Like the dude he's got a marketing flair to him that is really interesting and I enjoy. Which, by the way, are we just not going to talk about SpaceX landing a freaking
I had that
20-story building on a cradle this weekend? Like what?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty wild.
What would you use the Optimus robot to help you with as a real estate agent, though?
Oh, as a real estate
Like, what if you could throw them in your
agent.
car?
You put them in your car.
Maybe
and
when
take
it
them
doesn't
with you.
rain for a month, you tell them to put this sign in the yard.
It's because you need the extra strength. Which, funny enough, do you know my brother tore his Achilles driving a sign into the ground?
I knew he tore his Achilles. But
Well, he had a partially torn Achilles from playing basketball, and then he stepped on a sign to drive it into the ground in a hard like August afternoon, and like crushed the rest of his Achilles. So anyway, let's see, what would I have as a real estate agent? Like, it's got to be physical. Like, I'm sure it does this like some crazy computing.
it does cold calls for you.
Cold calls. Yeah. But apparently ChatGPT can do that.
Yeah.
We figured that out. I don't know, man. That's a good call. Would you have one work your open house for you? So you didn't have to be there?
Maybe.
I mean, I wonder.
Maybe. Cool. I just wanted to mention.
Would
it.
Optimus
It was-
arrest people if they try to steal something? I
yeah,
wouldn't.
tackles them.
Ugh.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention it was pretty cool and crazy. I saw it all over Twitter. So, all right, I thought we have to mention this. I sent it to you and some of the other guys in the brokerage this weekend. But Pat Kelsey bought a house in Louisville,
Yep.
and
Did not use us.
no,
but that's
no.
okay.
And his real estate agent and him went into the wrong house, which is a pretty hard mistake to make in the subdivisions they're looking in.
Yeah. Who went into his buyer's agent?
Him and the agent walked into the wrong house.
How did they get in?
I guess they just opened the front door, went in, and some lady was there yelling at them to get out. And I guess they had a caregiver that started freaking out and running and almost had the cops called on them. They were in the wrong house.
Oh, I heard something about the cops call. I didn't hear the rest of the story.
So, as an agent, it's whatever, things happen.
Yeah.
I'll say I've got close to, there's a lot of houses that look the same in a subdivision, both have a for sale sign in the yard, very close to each other. I haven't gone in the wrong house, but I've maybe walked down the driveway.
Yeah.
Only thing worse for it to happen is for everybody in the city of Louisville to know it happened.
Well, I mean, he pretty much told everybody, didn't he? He told
did.
everybody it happened.
Yeah.
Told who his agent was. Kind of an interesting situation.
Yeah. So crazy. I thought we had to mention it though, because we talk a lot about Louisville sports on here,
Yeah.
and we're agents. So
So breaking news. I've got something for you. I just
Okay.
got a text from one of our agents that apparently is interviewing to represent a hedge fund on some, purchasing, right? So obviously interview situation, multiple agents in the running for this job. Should
on
be
your team.
No, not just an agent of the brokerage. And so he did a ChatGPT search of Remax Premier Properties to see what came up in anticipation of them asking him, questions about the firm or whatever, and potentially even doing the search themselves. Here is what it's like a long paragraph, a short paragraph, and a sentence. But this is the answer when you ask ChatGPT who Remax Premier Properties is. Remax Premier Properties in Louisville, Kentucky is a highly successful brokerage known for its strong market presence and high-performing agents. In 2022, the brokerage achieved $420 million in sales volume, a significant indicator of its influence in the region. The brokerage is led by Jay Pitts, who has guided the team to impressive milestones, including over 5,000 transactions and a total of more than $700 million since inception, which that's not accurate. But the brokerage has a large team, currently about 105 agents offering services throughout Louisville Metro, Southern Indiana, and Central Kentucky. Jay and his team have been recognized for several awards, such as the number one Remax team in the state of Kentucky for 21 and 22, ranking 19th nationally in that same year. Their collaborative, high-energy environment makes them a trusted name in real estate, helping both buyers and sellers in the region. I said I wasn't going to read it all, but
Yeah. You got to keep going as it's
got to keep going once it starts getting good, don't you? Anyway, I thought that was interesting. ChatGPT for RPP.
It's pretty cool.
Chat RPP.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Sorry. Breaking news. Had to jump in.
All right. So that's pretty much all I have today. I was going to talk a little bit about the Greenskeeper Revenge at Neville Mead.
Yeah, tell me about that. I have to hear about it.
So, Greenskeeper Revenge Scramble, they make it as hard as freaking possible. And it was way harder this year than last year. It was unbelievably windy. I thought we played pretty solid. So, it's a step-aside scramble, so everybody hits a tee shot. From there, whoever shot you take can't hit the next one. So, it's kind of a three-person scramble. So, we shot 7 under. It's only 17 holes because they combine 2 holes and make an 811-yard par 6. And it was dead into the wind. So
it took you 7 to get there?
No, we barely missed the green in 3.
Okay.
So we played it pretty good. We ended up making birdie. And like I said, we played good. It was a 4-putt max. Pretty much every pin was on the side of a hill. It's the fastest I've seen Neville Mead's greens. So like if you miss the hole, it's going off the green or it's coming back down to your feet.
So wait,
like
you putt and then exit the green, you chip back up, and then that's your second putt?
Yeah.
So you could only putt 4 times. What did you end up shooting?
We shot 7 under.
That's
17
good.
holes. And I thought it was great. I thought we had a chance.
Did it have the shortest par 3?
Like, it did. It was 11 yards.
11
I'll show you
yards.
some videos after this.
That's
on one
amazing.
hole, they made you all hit opposite-handed on 10. So not an easy driving hole. We all
Wow.
had it. And we basically played the tips everywhere, too. On 18, you had to sit in a chair and hit the ball.
What?
So, I mean, they made it hard. And one hole, there was a garden hose running through that made it a really small green. So you basically had to hit it in there, and then the next putt was definitely going in because it wrapped around perfectly behind the hole downhill. So you just had to get it going on the garden hose. But the tough part was getting the second shot on 17 into the little area.
The little garden hose
which,
hole area. What did you do? If you were outside, did you have to putt it really hard and ramp it over the garden hose, or
you could chip.
or chip from the green?
Yeah, or you could do that.
Oof.
Also on 10 where you had to hit opposite-handed, the pin was on the back, off the green back in the rough. So we made like a really good par there.
That's unreal.
And like
This
I said, we played
sounds like
good.
so much fun.
It was so fun. Somebody shot 12 under. I'm calling BS. I think the only way it's possible is they had a guy in their group that's over 65 that hits it far and gets to play
From the short
farther
tees.
up tees. But still, like, there were so many holes that, like, if you didn't hit a putt, you're 4-putt. Like, so 12 under seems so hard. And I was so mad because you all got a driver and you get these sick Louisville Slugger bats with, like, your Neville Mead, like, Greenskeeper Revenge Scramble Champions on it. Like, I really wanted one of those for the office.
And you get a new driver too?
New driver.
What?
Yeah.
All right, I need to. Play
It's a
this
great
thing next
scramble.
year.
It's a lot of fun.
Sounds like it, man. I would love to do that. I mean, like, you know what's funny is, we played in that scramble. We played in the Bellarmine Scramble. So for those of you, we won the first Bellarmine Athletic Scramble. We came tied for first in the President's Classic. We were on the, which oddly enough, the first one we tied as well, but we were the benefactor of the tiebreaker rules. This time we were on the short end, so we did not win. We came in second, technically, I guess. But I mean, we got our golf scramble coming up. I'm playing in the UofL. We're playing in the UofL baseball scramble on Friday. So that's fun. But it's like, it's scramble season, and it's like, I want to play my own ball. Like, usually, like, if I'm playing bad, it's like, I never want to play my own ball. I only want to play scrambles. Now it's like the opposite. So I'm actually going out tomorrow, and we're gonna play our own ball. I've got a rematch.
That's right.
So anyway,
Cool, man.
but that's I guess all the time we got, man.
Yeah, you tell me the title company after this, and then I'll show you these videos.
Okay, sounds great. All right, folks, we do appreciate you joining in. We got other business to attend to, so we're going to wrap it for the day. Thank you for joining and listening. As always, you can catch us anywhere you podcast, specifically Spotify or Apple iTunes, whatever podcast app on your Apple iPhone. And at JPitts Realtor, at RyanHarris.re on any of the socials. Like, share, subscribe, follows, all those things are definitely appreciated. We do appreciate you tuning in every week, and that's all we got for you. Until next week, for the JPitts Show, I'm your host, Jay Pitts. Ryan Harris. We'll see you soon.